Okay, this rumor is absolutely wild. Recently in a stream, Josh from Den of Nerds along with Star Wars Theory dropped a rumor that we might actually see Baylan Skoll fight Anakin Skywalker.
A really big fight was just filmed. A huge fight sequence was filmed on Ahsoka with Baylan Skoll and Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, you heard that right. If this fight actually does happen, the implications are massive for both lore and character. Today, I want to explore how this could realistically fit into the story. There are two locations that this battle could take place, the mystical world between worlds or in the real world on Peridea. If this fight does take place in the world between worlds, it aligns with where we have previously seen Anakin after his death. To recap, in Ahsoka Season 1, Anakin pulled Ahsoka into this realm after she lost to Baylan Skoll, teaching her one final lesson as they revisited key battles from the Clone Wars. We know Peridea has deep ties to the Mortis gods, and that the world between worlds was accessible through a mural of the father, son, and daughter in a Jedi temple on Lothal. Now, assuming Baylan is following the direction the father's statue is pointing, toward that mysterious castle-like structure, he may discover a doorway to the world between worlds along the way. When Baylan finally reaches it, he may step through, intent on disrupting the natural balance of the Force and ending the rise and fall of powers once and for all. And waiting for him there is Anakin Skywalker. But not as the chosen one we once knew, rather as the new father, guardian of balance. Now, if the battle were to happen on Peridea, this would be unbelievable. Final form Anakin Skywalker dueling an opponent in the real world would be nuts. But the first question is, how would this even be possible? We've seen Force ghosts speak with the living, and even manipulate the Force and interact physically like Yoda in The Last Jedi, but we've never seen one duel a living being. This all changes in the canon novel Shadow of the Sith by Adam Christopher. In that story, Anakin's Force ghost appears on Exegol to protect Luke, igniting his lightsaber to defend him from Sith wraiths. Later, they return to Tython, the same planet where Grogu reached out through the Force in The Mandalorian. There, Anakin's Force ghost conveys a warning to Luke. However, the image of him begins to flicker and fade, changing between his younger self and the face we see beneath the mask when he dies. It took all of Anakin's energy to bring Luke back from Exegol as his voice grew quieter, and eventually he disappeared. This tells us that a large expenditure of energy would cause Anakin in his Force Ghost form to be limited in his time back in the real world. It's important to take into consideration as well that Exegol is a planet aligned with the dark side, which complicates matters for Force Ghosts, as they are light side beings. But Peridea isn't Exegol. Peridea is ancient, deeply connected to the Force and the Mortis gods themselves. That kind of connection might actually strengthen Anakin's ability to appear. Rather than physically returning, he could manifest as a Force ghost, empowered by the concentrated energy of this world. If he truly embodies the essence of the Father, that bond could enhance his projection, allowing his spirit to exist here longer and more tangibly than we've ever seen before. So, within that castle on Peridea, Anakin Skywalker's Force ghost appears, luminous yet restrained, bound by the cosmic force, but strong enough to face Baylan Skoll. But, what if there's a darker twist? What if it isn't actually Baylan fighting Anakin at all? What if someone, or something, is using Baylan as a vessel? Someone like Abeloth. In Legends, Abeloth was once the servant of the Ones, the father, the son, and the daughter. She became known as the Mother, the one who kept peace between them. But, unlike the others, she was mortal. When she began to age, she sought to preserve her life, drinking from the font of power and bathing in the pool of knowledge. Those acts corrupted her, twisting her into the immortal being known as Abeloth, the bringer of chaos. Upon discovering her crime, the father left the planet, leaving Abeloth stranded. The son and daughter also enlisted the help of a species known as Kilix to assist in imprisoning Abeloth. She was able to escape whenever the current of the Force was altered and the flow of time changed, requiring the son and daughter to come back and defeat her, returning her to prison. This cycle repeated for millennia. From Legends, we know Abeloth could appear in many different forms, using different bodies as vessels. So, maybe she is the voice calling to Baylan, and when he finally reaches the source, that ancient power on Peridea, Abeloth takes his body as her vessel. This could lead to a duel in either the World Between Worlds or on Peridea. It would make sense that she seeks the World Between Worlds as Darth Sidious described it. This mystical realm connects all of time and space, creating a conduit between the living and the dead. Those who control this plane would possess mastery over all of existence. That would explain everything. Baylan's mysterious calling, his obsession with the end of cycles, and his goal to achieve a permanent order. This is what Abeloth and him are chasing. If this is the case, the duel between Anakin and Baylan becomes something far greater. It becomes Anakin vs Abeloth, balance versus chaos. Personally, out of all three scenarios, I think the most likely outcome is a duel on Peridea between Baylan Skoll and Anakin Skywalker. It's the perfect place for Anakin to appear almost as a godlike figure, maybe within that castle Baylan's been travelling toward. But I also think there are two key things to remember. First, Dave Filoni mentioned at Star Wars Celebration that there will be a fateful duel between Baylan and Ahsoka towards the end of Season 2. So, Baylan can't die to Anakin. And second, Filoni's been very clear. He doesn't want to change Anakin's story. George Lucas already told it, and Dave's only looking to expand on it, not rewrite it. So, whatever Anakin does in Ahsoka Season 2, whether he faces Baylan or even Abeloth herself, it'll be as a guardian of balance. Not to alter his past, but to protect the future. So, what do you think will happen? Will Anakin Skywalker fight Baylan Skoll in the World Between Worlds, or will it actually happen on Peridea? Or is there an even darker twist coming? Could Abeloth be using Baylan as her vessel? Either way, Ahsoka Season 2 is shaping up to dive deep into the cosmic side of the Force, and that is something I am extremely excited about. Let me know your theories in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe for more Star Wars lore, rumors, and deep dives. Until next time, may the Force be with you, always.